That I can't even talk about.
All right, everyone, gird your loins.
Did someone eat an onion bagel?
The Devil Wears Prada is a 2006 fashion comedy that has swiftly turned into a filmatic icon for the fashion world. The movie is exaggeratory, deriving much of its humor from stereotypes of the design world and those who live in it. As a result of this, it's often regarded as one of the most fashionable movies ever made. The movie tells the story of Andrea Sachs, played by Anne Hathaway, a journalist from Northwestern University who, although clearly not the biggest fan of fashion, ends up getting a job as an assistant to Miranda Priestly, played by Meryl Streep. Priestly is the chief editor of Runway magazine, an eccentric and highly idolized fashion production. I've already made a video on the film, so I won't go too far into the plotline. You can find that one at the card above. Priestly is a bizarre, cold, and eccentric character. She's characterized by her cutthroat nature and bizarre fashion tastes. In fact, across the entire film, we see her dress in some of the strangest but also most iconic pieces in movie history. And so, with that being said, let's take a dive into Meryl Streep's best looks in The Devil Wears Prada. The movie saw initial struggle when it came to the pre-production phase due to the lack of any big names in the fashion world really willing to help out when it came to writing the film. Originally, the movie was based off of the novel of the same name written by Lauren Weisberger, who used to work as the assistant to Vogue's former chief editor Anna Wintour. Wintour is known by many in fashion as a very unapproachable and rather distant person, and due to her massive role in the fashion world, not many people were willing to help write a parody of her character. However, even though it seemed like the film was falling into a rut, when Meryl Streep agreed to join the project, she'd originally saved the film from a failure, making her role even more important than initially thought. Across the film, we see her character take on a wide variety of strange but somewhat practical work outfits. Although her fashion choices are diverse across the movie, there are certain elements she repeats in most scenes. For one, we see Priestly wearing oversized fur coats in multiple scenes, them clearly being an essential element of her wardrobe. One of her beginning clips in the movie, Priestly is shown wearing a large black fur coat over a purple dress. The coat is almost cape-like in form, with it being held down with front drawstrings. It goes down knee length and has excessively sized sleeve ends and a large bushy collar made of the same material. The dress seems to be a standard purple dress that contrasts well with the overcoat. Finally, she completes the piece with a pair of large white rounded square sunglasses and black lace gloves, making for an iconic look. However, this isn't the only time we see Priestly wearing furry overcoats. In multiple other scenes across the film, we catch her wearing less traditional ones than in this scene. In one clip, Priestly wears a very large Fendi coat that seems to be purposefully oversized. The jacket has wide sleeves, although not as wide as the first one I spoke about, and an incredibly wide set of shawl lapels that go over the shoulders. However, the most standout element of this look is the color choices. Most of the jacket is a deep, rich brown with light accents in the fur. However, the collar and sleeve ends are contrasting elements that feature a bizarre striped pattern, alternating between dark brown and an almost tan orange color. Finally, she completes this look with a set of oval gold sunglasses and what I believe to be a tiger print silk scarf. However, fur coats aren't the only jackets she wears. In one clip, Priestly puts on a much more basic white trench coat, with wide lapels and noticeable shoulder straps. The jacket is a 5-button, single-breasted piece with high slanted flap pockets. She pairs this one with a somewhat more traditional yet fashionable work suit, consisting of a multi-button small lapel suit, deep maroon belt, and a white shallow collar dress shirt. From a practicality perspective, this is arguably one of her best suits. It's still classy and fashionable, but can also be worn in a variety of different environments. However, coats aside, let's look at some of Priestly's other pieces. In one particularly cold scene, she wears a flashy but not too flashy golden long-sleeved jacket layered over a black dress that sits just above the knee. It's actually a really well thought out look. The underlayer of the outfit is all black, allowing it to stay silent and contrast well with the glittering layers over it. However, in order to not make things too excessive, her mirrored jacket is structured in a very standard manner, which lets the viewer shift their focus to the actual design over the jacket itself. However, she also wears it alongside many layers of golden necklaces, all very classically designed. Her outfit in the scene is, as I stated, flashy. It's somewhat unorthodox, as it combines both casual and formal style. However, it's not excessive and overbearing due to its simplicity, which juxtaposes nicely with the design. Overall, it's one of her more memorable looks. She does dress in a minimalistic fashion at some points in the film. Even though her character is meant to be excessive in some capacity, it's not always a necessity to show that, as can be seen in the clip when she's interviewing Andrea Sachs for her position as an assistant. In this clip, Priestly kept it simple, wearing a jewel-toned purple dress. The dress does have a boat neck top, and she pairs it with an emerald ring and ruby on gold hoop earrings. Again, it's a very simple getup, yet it's still incredibly luxurious as a dress. Although it doesn't have all the complex layers and elements of the other designs during the run of the film, it still reciprocates the exact same message. Miranda Priestly is a rather clever parody of the fashion world. She's a cold, somewhat distant yet eccentric figure. Her nature as a character is reflected in the way she dresses across the movie. Her fashion is complex and standout, and due to how she dresses, she's constantly surrounded by an executive aura no matter what she's wearing. This is of course due to Meryl Streep's iconic acting performance and attention to immersion and realism, which she undertook challenging techniques such as method acting to nail. However, the way her character dresses and expresses herself is still a major part of the role. From her first impressions to the final scene of the film, I don't believe there's a single point where you can't call Miranda Priestly a modern fashion staple.